that the history of Africa has been fully affected by few things. Africans have something that Ni spoke about, which is the hospitality. In fact, there is an African philosophy from southern African parts of Africa, but applicable to all parts of Africa, called Ubuntu. A life philosophy, which talks about actually how we need to see our humanity through the humanity of the other. And therefore, if you see that and achieve the capacity to see your humanity through the humanity of the other, chances are you are not going to oppress that person, you are not going to deny them opportunities, you are not going to marginalize them. It's when you actually establish the other as something that's external and foreign to you that the problems usually start. Many historians even believe that Africans, because they are so hospitable, because they believe so much in that Ubuntu philosophy, because they naturally see their humanity as through the humanity of the other, they were so nice, and therefore they were colonized. Now, that's the writings of some historians. Okay, I may not, say that 100%, but just technically, yes, you can actually say that if you want to be so nice in a world where some people are not nice, when then the saying that nice guys usually finish last could be applied to you. In that context, actually, Africa in pre-colonial times recorded some of the most important human achievements and human civilizations. And these are in the books. They are not something that I'm inventing or coming up with because I want to feel good tonight in the Black History Month. I already feel good. In fact, you may not believe me, but I was waiting for the winter this year. Okay, sincerely. Here. Sometimes I wasn't feeling nice. I said, where's the winter? So tonight I feel good. So, for example, Ivan Fansantiva talks about 2,000 years ago, Africans were doing complex engineering systems. They were creating the first astronomical discoveries that the world has ever seen. I'll go very quickly. The first place we are writing was developed is Africa. 1982 talks about that. The first use of one of the most important inventions in civilization, iron, the use of iron was first done in Africa. Now these are seminal, these are stuff that without those human civilization would not have started. In the works of Cheikh Anta Diop, the Senegalese scholar, he actually, in 1974, wide, highly regarded, still spoken about, conference by UNESCO of the UN, showed the world that actually human civilizations have African origin. The works of the Englishman David Basil Gibson talks about that. Martin Bernal, the French thinker at Cornell University, talks about this extensively. This book, Black Athena, where actually he says, surely, and it's a powerful book if you read it, you will agree with him, that actually African prospects, African developments were responsible for the development of human civilization that expanded into Europe for many years. The work of Julius Nyerere, the late president of Tanzania, talks about the development and educational achievements in pre-colonial times. So what happened into colonialism? Yes, histories are created, civilizations fall, empires fall. That's what has happened. We can go back to the Ubuntu philosophy. And for example, a lot of people, like Hale talks about that says actually Africans were colonized and actually other things have been done to them because they were very nice. Like me. And what happened actually with colonization is that life systems were torn asunder, literally destroyed. The culture, people's cultures destroyed. Ontologies, ways of seeing the world destroyed. World views destroyed. Educational systems destroyed. What would you expect people to do? They can't be what they were before us. In fact, Ivan Fansantiva calls it the other Holocaust. First, the major would be what we know. Millions of people were killed precisely because of their ethnicity and religion. Okay. So all of those has created a place where Africans actually have been not colonized physically only, but colonized in a way that's much worse than physical colonization, which is mental colonization, where actually your system and being and thinking are all deformed to the extent where you are misrecognized, as Charles Taylor, the Canadian philosopher, talks about. And where you are misrecognized and a false identity is imposed on you, you lose self-esteem slowly. And slowly you lose self-efficacy, the capacity to see a task and achieve. And then you lose the active capacity to achieve social development and social well-being. And it's out of that post-colonial Africa, or so-called independent African countries, came into. Now, literally what has happened is that mental colonization stayed with the post-colonial African elite. And they actually never achieved full independence, and that's the problems we are seeing today in Africa. So 2,000 years, 1,500 years, 500 years, 200 years, 60 years, it still continues. You have issues that are all over the place, globalization, where the world has to compete. But when you have been so deformed, it's hard to compete, and therefore you need a lot of time to recover. These are facts. So we now have also what we call post-colonial nominal democracies that are not doing much. But there is hope, and we have seen that hope, for example, in South Africa. Nelson Mandela is a project of hope. He's now in hospital today, and we wish him the best. And it is therefore the new hope that's emerging now out of Africa is the new possibilities that are happening through projects like the post-apartheid South Africa. The capacity is still there, the intelligence is still there, the determination is still there, but they have been dislocated, and these are the problems. Hence the slow liberation of the mind, and until you liberate the mind, you can be the biggest person in town, tallest, the most capable, whatever. You're not going to achieve much if your mental dispositions are weakening and they are deformed. And that's what has happened. The new hope is also happening today in Africa through civil society organizations. The best example is Wangari Maathai, the Kenyan Nobel laureate, who took on the government of Kenya on corporations, on globalization, and won and was eventually given the Nobel Prize. She passed away not long ago. So I want to finish by saying that 2,000 years ago, the Roman historian Pliny made a statement that's still used in Latin, ex Africa semper aliquid, which means that something new always comes out of Africa. Something new will come out of Africa. Thank you.